The Great Awakening. This post from Q on Sunday is where I want to begin this video because there is no more room for those with a penchant for pessimism. Those who do not want to stand for the great fight. And by the way, the shot heard round the world is a reference to Lexington and Concord during the American Revolution. And QAnon, according to Jerome Corsi, suggests a counter-coup is forming in which patriots will out globalists in a move to reestablish the Constitution of the United States as a constitutional republic. And the Great Awakening Q refers to in his post is the Second American Revolution, and it's upon us. Anon patriots will win, and there is no more room for those who only want to be pessimists. I received this email from somebody y'all know, and I won't even say who he is. I've donated money to this person. He no longer lives in the country, by the way. He fled the country, so he's not here for the fight. And each email I've been receiving from this person has gotten detrimentally more pessimistic, culminating in this one I received yesterday, and I'll read it to you. And he writes, "There is no reason that the Congress critters and or Trump himself cannot have the memo released within mere days, if not yesterday." And of course he's referring to the Devin Nunes memo, the hashtag FISA memo, which alleges horrific abuses by the intelligence community, including spying on President Trump. This was all motivated by the traitor Barack Obama under his watch. By the way, we're going to get back to some of these Q posts, but I just want to flush out this pessimism because there is no room for it. If you think Trump is just part of the big game and that we're all naive, then you've said your piece. Now get out of the way. And he writes, "If they fail to release the memo, and real soon, then all of this is just political theater signifying absolutely nothing, and you would do well to case your glorification of Trump." I've not glorified Trump. I've merely said that what we were going to get with Clinton was the absolute end of the United States as we know it. And now Q, in an explosive post on Sunday, has said the exact same thing, explaining that Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton had a 16-year treasonous plan to use two White House terms for a coup d'etat in the United States that would end up revising the Constitution, canceling the Second Amendment, and opening borders to flood the nation with illegal immigrants calculated to vote Democrat for the foreseeable future. This was going to end our nation. And I would like to add this, for those like this author who has written me with his contempt because in his mind I'm glorifying Trump, Trump called out Hillary Clinton for her crimes and treason during actual debates.
It's just awfully good that someone with the temperament of Donald Trump is not in charge of the law in our country.
Yeah, because you'd be in jail.
And who was Hillary Clinton's puppet master? Linda Rothschild, the Rothschilds.
To get her for us.
To get her for Rothschild. Literally is what Linda Rothschild meant. It was the Rothschilds holding $100,000 per head fundraisers for their puppet. They weren't raising money for Trump. They and the CIA and the entire Soros globalist apparatus was desperately trying to prevent Trump from being elected. And as my wonderful recent guests from the 8chan, 4chan, and CBTS board explained, these people never thought Trump would win, and they didn't have a contingency plan.
The underestimation of what the Trump administration is doing is it's going to be deadly, and this will be historic.
But we'll get back to the diatribe from the author who writes, "Look, Washington, D.C. is all fake. Listen to me. They're all fakes and phonies. I read your stuff and listen to you, and it's as if you don't get it. Are you part of the controlled opposition too?" This is somebody I've donated money to. I've actually wired him money through Western Union because he claims he's practically destitute. Why on earth would somebody write this to somebody who's shown nothing but support and compassion for somebody else in the truth space? And he writes, "Who is Sean really? Just another so-called patriotic voice on YouTube who is mindlessly whipping the thoroughly dead, stunningly corrupt, hideously murderous red, white, and blue United States Federal Corporation House?" He says, "Sean, I don't know you anymore. What are you doing? What's your whole shtick about?" I don't have a shtick. This is not about a cult of personality. This channel is about truth and real journalism as I see it. And if you don't agree with me, that's fine. But to start attacking each other with ad hominems is just beyond the pale. And we've heard it before. We heard it when Ron Paul was running for president. Nobody's coming to save you, so don't vote.
Without the media, Hillary Clinton couldn't be elected dog catcher. I mean that. It's true.
And guess what? If all of us would have stood down and not showed up to vote for Donald Trump, then the witch would be in the White House. And what's happening right now is a miracle because the witch, the treacherous traitor, the Rothschild puppet, is not in the White House.
Julian Assange. America press supports demon Hillary Clinton. And Bill calls her a demon. He wants to, quote, put our necks all in a noose if she gets in. Book says Hillary talks to the dead. It says that it calms her, but that she'll talk to anybody but Jesus Christ. Of course, it's a demon.
And now she actually has to live in fear.
What's going on right now is nothing short of a miracle.
Because she knows her crimes are legion. And he writes, Trump has surrounded himself with war hawks, Zionists, neocons, billionaires, and Goldman Sachs bankers. How in the world do you think that any of that serves the interests of the common people or serves to drain the swamp is beyond me. Of course, Hillary and Obama and the DNC are toilet bowl scum. That goes without saying. And he concludes, but that doesn't change any of what I have said above. Open your eyes. Well, my eyes are fully open. And you know what? I'm still here in this country fighting the good fight. And right now, according to Q, and I fully agree, the Second American Revolution is upon us, and this is the Great Awakening. And those sitting offshore aren't doing us any good. They're not in the fight. Because the fact of the matter is this: the people that Trump has beaten are people that have covered up pedophilia.
There is all kinds of criminal culpability through all the emails they've seen of that 650,000, including money laundering, underage sex.
And Corsi notes that the memo, when made public, will alert the American people to the Democratic Party coup d'etat, undertaken in large part through Obama, Hillary, and Podesta in collusion with Russia. Obama, Hillary Clinton, and Podesta, plus many others, are guilty of treason. And Hillary was right when she threw her tantrum after the NBC Commander-in-Chief Forum in September 2016 when she said, and I quote, "If we lose the election, we will all hang." And now it's happening. They lost the election, and the lawful justice system in the United States now stands a chance under President Trump. We know what would be happening right now if Hillary Clinton was in the White House. ISIS and MS-13 would be a domestic threat, and they would be coming after our guns with false flag after false flag after false flag. They would be attacking the Second Amendment, should be raising taxes, and we would probably already be in some sort of ground war with Russia. And this is just bombshell truth right here. CIA Director John Brennan, the CIA handler of Barry Soetoro, aka Barack Hussein Obama, led the effort to sell the Russian collusion narrative to the mainstream media and the American people in order to prevent Donald Trump from serving out his term in office if he unexpectedly won the election. And here's the most important part: the Obama-Hillary 16-year coup d'etat plan. The Obamas, the Clintons, and the DNC and the U.S. intelligence community planned their coup d'etat boldly, confident that Hillary would win the election, never imagining that Trump would become president. The Obama-Hillary Clinton 16-year plan to destroy America involved the Democrats calculating both Obama and Hillary Clinton's two-term presidencies would allow the unfolding of a 16-year nightmare plan to destroy our nation. As part of the plan, the Democratic Party co-conspirators envisioned Hillary would follow Obama's plan to put rogue political operatives at key positions throughout the federal government, just as President Obama placed John Brennan at CIA, Clapper at DNI, Eric Holder and Loretta Lynch as Attorney General, Valerie Jarrett in the White House, James Comey at the FBI, the list goes on. Hillary would continue Obama's plan to weaken the U.S. military. And we'll jump down. An American nightmare under President Hillary Clinton. When the Obama-Hillary 16 years in the presidency was complete, the U.S. would have no borders, the Constitution would be revised to remove the Bill of Rights and all fundamental U.S. freedoms, and the population would be disarmed by the repeal of the Second Amendment. And here's the part that would have affected me and everybody else in the truth media. Only Project Mockingbird Pravda-like mainstream media willing to be controlled by the CIA to disseminate the Obama-Hillary traitors' anti-American ideology would be allowed to survive. All other news would be censored, with Google, Facebook, Twitter, and the other internet giants unleashed to eliminate from social media even the most private or coded communications that patriots might attempt. Barack Obama, the Clintons, and their deep state Democratic Party co-conspirators are pure evil, capable of nuclear war to achieve their globalist goals.
When you see the leader of India, an established country with over 1 billion people there, falling into the arms of Donald Trump, why do you think that is? Because Pakistan, the Awan brothers, Huma, they're not in the White House. They are mortal enemies. So when you have the Indian president falling into the arms of our current leader, this is the most symbolic image that if you don't see the writing on the wall, you won't understand. But there's a reason for that.
Don't think for a minute that this is all just theater and that Donald Trump is playing his role, because the easiest thing in the world to do would have been to insert Hillary Clinton in the White House and carry out the plan I've just described. And you, dear listeners, don't have time in your lives for the people with a penchant for pessimism. And it's why I've always highly valued people like Harley Schlanger and others that come on and help us see the cup as half full, because people like Harley understand, as does Q, that we the people have the power, and the treasonous criminals like Hillary Clinton and Barry Soetoro and John Podesta and Debbie Wasserman Schultz and Loretta Lynch and Eric Holder and Robert Mueller and James Comey and everybody else that's in this swamp don't want you to know it. What the treasonous co-conspirators in the Democratic deep state fear most is that President Trump will target them for their crimes. I want to remind everybody that the executive order that President Trump signed on December 21st, 2017 allows the confiscation of the property of persons involved in serious human rights corruption, like pedophilia and child sex trafficking. And that executive order included language that declared a national emergency is already in place. So, if you've run to the jungle somewhere to escape what you thought was coming and you're no longer in the fight, I wish you well. But the fight is here, and I believe that Donald Trump is engaged in it. And if that makes me naive, so be it. All my chips are in the basket of restoring the Constitution and putting the traitors like Obama, Hillary, Podesta, and Jarrett in prison. So we'll end right where we began, with the post from Q on Sunday, January 21st, 2018. The shot heard around the world. The Great Awakening, a week to remember. The Second American Revolution is upon us, my friends. Stand with us. It's time for great courage, and as for the cowards and the naysayers, may their chains rest lightly upon them. Thanks for listening, and for real news 24/7, visit us at sgtreport.com.
The evil of this, I mean, the satanic nature of the pedophilia that's going on, and the combination of the Satanism with the pedophilia is going to be shocking to the average American.